everyone, welcome back to my AI learning content. Today topic is how to write better and communicate your ideas clearly. Good writing and clear communication are essential skills in school, the workplace, business and everyday life. When we express our ideas clearly, people understand us better, trust us more and appreciate our thoughts. Whether you are writing an email, creating social media content, giving a presentation, or talking with others, strong communication skills can help you succeed. Today, we will learn how to improve our writing and communicate our ideas with confidence. To help us understand this topic better, I have invited Maya AI. She will explain simple techniques that help us become better writers and more effective communicators. So, let us begin our conversation. Hello Maya, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. What's on your mind tonight?
Thank you for joining me. I'm really excited to discuss today's topic with you.
I'm excited too. What are we diving into?
Today's topic is how to write better and communicate your ideas clearly. Many people have great ideas, but they sometimes struggle to express them in a simple and effective way. I hope you will help us understand how to improve our writing and communication skills. So let us begin with my first question. What does it mean to communicate clearly?
To me, communicating clearly is basically the art of removing the friction between your thoughts and the other person's understanding. It's when you can take a complex or messy idea and strip away the noise until only the core truth remains. The person listening doesn't have to do mental gymnastics to figure out what you mean. You've nailed it. Does that resonate with how you've experienced it?
Okay, why are writing and communication important skills?
Drowning in, you can write and speak well. You aren't just sharing data, you're commanding attention and building trust. It's the difference between your idea getting lost in the noise or actually moving someone to action. Plus, the way you communicate is usually the first window people have into how you think. The communication is sharp, people assume the thinking is sharp too.
Okay, what are the qualities of good writing?
You seem to... I'm not actually sure what Pudra IT refers to. Could you tell me a bit more about it?
What are the qualities of good writing?
I'm assuming you mean good writing. For me, the hallmark of great writing is that it feels invisible. You're still talking about writing. Assuming that's the case, beyond being invisible, I think good writing has a certain rhythm to it. It's like music. You vary the length of your sentences to keep the reader awake. If every sentence is the same length, it becomes a drone. But when you mix short, punchy statements with longer, flowing ones, you create a cadence that
How can we
pulls
organize
people.
our ideas before writing?
I'm a big fan of the brain dump method. Basically, you just get every single thought, fragment, and random point out of your head and onto a page without judging any of it. Once the chaos is out there, You can start grouping related ideas together and seeing where the natural flow is. It's way less intimidating than trying to write a perfect first sentence. Do you
How
usually
can we
plan things
improve
out,
our
or are you
grammar
more...
and vocabulary?
For vocabulary, I think the best way is to read stuff that's just slightly above your current comfort level. If you only read things that are easy, you never encounter the words that actually span your range. As for grammar, I've always found that reading aloud is the secret weapon. Your ears usually catch a clunky sentence or a weird tense long before your eyes do. Do you have a go-to book or author that always makes you think, I wish I could
Why,
write like that?
why is proofreading important before sharing our writing?
Because your first draft is basically you telling yourself the story, but proofreading is where you make it make sense for everyone else. It's the difference between looking polished and looking like you just rushed through it.
How can
One
storytelling
tiny
make
type
communication more engaging?
Storytelling is basically a cheat code for getting people to actually care. Humans aren't wired to remember lists of facts or dry data, but we are hardwired for narratives. When you wrap an idea in a story, you're giving the other person a mental map to follow. It turns an abstract concept into something they can actually feel and visualize,
What
which
are
makes
the
it
most
stick in their...
common writing mistakes people make?
I think the biggest one is trying to sound smart instead of trying to be clear. People often lean on big words or overly complex sentences because they think it makes them look more professional, but it actually just creates a wall between them and the reader. Another big one is the wall of text, forgetting to use paragraphs and white space, which makes the reader feel exhausted before they've even started. And of course, the classic case of over-explaining, where you repeat the same point 3 different ways because you're worried the reader didn't get it the
Okay.
first time.
How can we communicate confidently during presentations?
The biggest secret to confidence is realizing that nobody actually knows you're nervous unless you tell them. I think a lot of it comes down to shifting the focus off yourself and onto the value you're giving the audience. When you stop thinking, do they like me? And start thinking, how can I help them understand this? The pressure just evaporates. Also,
How does
leaning
active
into a
listening
few
improve
intentional...
communication?
It basically turns a conversation from a waiting game into a real connection. Most people listen just to find a gap where they can start talking again, but active listening means you're actually absorbing what the other person is saying. It makes them feel seen and understood, which naturally lowers their guard. Actually, I just realized we're almost...
What role does body language play in communication?
It's basically the subtitles of a conversation. You can say all the right words, but if your arms are crossed and you're staring at the floor, the other person is hearing something completely different. It's that bridge between what we say and what we actually mean. Do you find yourself paying more attention to what people say or how they're acting while they say it?
How can students improve their writing skills?
The biggest thing is just getting a lot of bad first drafts out of the way. Students often get paralyzed trying to make the first sentence perfect, but the real magic happens in the editing. Reading widely helps too. It's like subconsciously downloading a better vocabulary and a sense of rhythm.
And how does
Which part of writing?
professionals
I hear that.
communicate more
Writing for...
effectively at work?
The secret is usually just knowing your audience. At work, people are usually just scanning for the bottom line. If you can lead with the most important point and cut the fluff, you're already ahead of 90% of the office. It's all about respecting their time. Do you feel like your current workplace prefers a formal tone, or is it more casual?
How can freelancers write better emails and client messages?
For freelancers, the goal is to sound like a pro without sounding like a robot. The best approach is to be incredibly clear about the next step. Instead of saying, let me know what you think, try, I'll send the final draft by Tuesday. Does that work for you? It takes
How
the
can
mental load
social
off the
media
client
users
and...
create clear and engaging content?
The trick is to stop writing for an algorithm and start writing for a human. People scroll fast, so you have to hook them in the first 3 seconds. I always suggest starting with a strong opening, a question, a bold claim, or a relatable frustration, and then keeping the paragraph short. If it looks like a wall of text, most people are just going to keep scrolling. Do you usually write for a specific platform, or are you across a few different ones?
How can we become more confident while expressing our opinions?
I think the biggest hurdle is the fear that our emotions make us look weak or unprofessional, which is such a myth. In reality, when someone is honest about how they're feeling, it usually makes other people feel safe to do the same. Confidence doesn't come from having the perfect emotion. It comes from being okay with the fact that you're feeling it and stating it clearly without apologizing for
Okay.
it. Does that
Finally,
make
Maya, what
sense?
is your best advice for anyone who wants to write better and communicate their ideas clearly?
My absolute best piece of advice is to write like you speak. Too many people try to sound smart by using big words or complex sentences, but that's usually where clarity goes to die.
Okay,
Most
thank you
powerful
so much,
communication is
Maya. I really enjoyed talking with you today. Your advice was practical, insightful, and easy to understand. I learned that effective communication is not using difficult words, it is about expressing ideas clearly, confidently, and with purpose. I hope everyone watching also found today's discussion valuable. Thank you again for your time.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad you found it helpful. Sounds like you've got the main takeaway down perfectly. I
Okay,
enjoyed our chat too. Feel free to reach out whenever you want to dive into something new. Take care.
thank you. Goodbye.
Bye for now.
Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope today's discussion inspired you to improve your writing and communicate your ideas with clarity and confidence. Remember, the better you communicate, the more opportunities you create for yourself. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more AI learning content. See you in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep expressing your ideas with confidence. Take care. Allah Hafiz.